Welcome to another episode of A Different Perspective Podcast, man. Today I got my partners in here with me. Of course, man, I got Big Swift, D Swift in here.
Yep.
And I got one of the big homies, man, a Houston legend, none other than Meech. You know what I'm saying? Welcome home, brother.
Man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. And I'm proud of you. What you doing, Nep? I'm proud of you, man. Yeah, man. Just glad to be back, you know? Glad to be back.
So let's go down through there, man. When I first met you, I was in prison. We talked about this too. I was in prison and I was rapping and I was making noise in prison, bro. And I had a CEO when I came home. He was like, "Hey, I got you, bro. I'm finna put some money behind you." Shout out to my boy Jay Burnett. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But
Burnett.
when I came home, the first thing he did was book me some studio time at Straight Lace. You know what I'm saying? And I came over there. I met you. You had Kruger at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my boy. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
But man, a lot of people know Meech, the street persona.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Swift, he talked good about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already know you're a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to give everybody the real man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The man behind everything that you done heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
And you coming home, a lot of, like I said, you a legend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the time I feel like when we was talking on the phone, man, you got so much wisdom.
Yes.
Why not drop it, man?
You know, man, when you say wisdom, you know, it's a lot of scars that comes behind that.
Yeah.
A lot of pain, a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that you just pick up. You know, I've come up with a situation where I've attuned myself to tell people that you can learn anything by listening and watching, but you can't master nothing unless you're hands on. You know, and you really don't have to master nobody but yourself. You know, but in the process of mastering yourself, it allows you to know how to deal with everybody else. Yeah. So, you know, that's where I go when people be like, "Man, you got a knowledge, you got a lot of wisdom." I guess I embrace it, but at the same time, by me going through it, having to master it, I guess I don't look at it like that, you know? But I guess when I speak it and people, I constantly got people say, you know, the motivational Meech. I constantly got people in my inbox telling me thank you, you know, but when I get them, it be off guard because I don't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just look at it as me sharing something that I've been through.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, there's a saying that says you can't have a test. I mean, you can't have a testimony without a test.
Amen.
Bruh, I realize now, being young, not growing up with my parents, going to prison young, getting in and out of trouble. Bro, all of that stuff wasn't for me.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful. At the time when you in the storm or God is making you and he's purifying you and getting you together, you don't see the end result.
No, you really don't.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see the gold trophy, but they don't see the beginning of the gold trophy. How it has to be melted down and purified and all of that polished so it can be the gold trophy that everybody wants and cherish and love.
Yeah.
And when God is taking us through that process, we don't realize it. But like I told you over the phone, bro, he prepared you for a time such as this. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, it's like a watch. You know what I'm saying? We only see the hands ticking and ticking, but we don't know the inner workings of that watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's I'm correlating that to what you just said. And no, you are correct. We don't know why this pain happened. You know, a lot of us fail to get to the education of that lesson because we sit there and we're more pondering on the pain. We're pondering on why it happened and not really pondering on why it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
So what I want to do is I want to kind of take a detour a little bit.
Okay.
If you ask 5 different people who Meech is, right? I bet you they'll give you 5 different answers.
Yes, they will.
Because everybody has met you at a different point in your life.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to go back to Meech's upbringing. Where you from? Like, well, how did it start?
You know, I crack jokes about that because my childhood friends that actually knew me as a youngster, the bright skinned pretty boy with the good hair that had to fight because they thought something was soft about me.
Right.
You know, today I still get some of them telling me, man, whoever thought that you would become who you became? You know, and where I came from, I tell people about just say this here. You know, you got a lot of people that go through the process and they say, man, the streets chose me. The streets didn't choose me. I chose the streets. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't raised like this. I went to all white school. I went to C.E. King. You know, I left Kirby. Well, I ain't gonna say Kirby. I went to Kirby 6th grade and went to C.E. King. Left C.E. King, all white school. When we moved to C.E. King, we was the third black family back there. And I ain't talking about the 50s and the 40s. I'm talking about the late 90s. If anybody know about C.E. King back then, C.E. King was really damn near still segregated.
Right.
And I went from the 6th grade to the 9th grade, then I went to Fur. You know, another diverse situation because it was Hispanics and blacks.
Right.
Then, of course, I ended up in South Park. And when I went to South Park, that's when the refining and defining moments came about.
Okay.
You know, and that's when I was exposed to, I guess you want to say more, the streets. So, you know, do that process. I still remember living on Burma, moving on Doolittle with Lil Mud Country. I'm pretty sure that people know about these guys, the Corey Blunts. And I grew up with all these people, the DJ Screws. I was in school with all these people.
Okay.
The K Renos, you know what I'm saying? But I wandered off into the stink crowd, the Hillmans, the Fat Pats. And at that time, you know, let me say this here. They was, you know, so I filtered into that. As I filtered into that, I started seeing things. And as I started seeing things, I tell a story where I tell people my mom, let me say not my mom, my stepmother, my dad, and my stepsisters at that time was considered wealthy.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say rich, but wealthy. My dad owned a bunch of businesses off of Live Oak. If you go downtown by the convention center, McKinney and Live Oak, my dad actually owned that block on Live Oak from McKinney all the way up to Polk. You know, clubs, shotgun houses, and a junkyard, a gas station. My dad owned that. You know what I'm saying? And growing up, I would always have the best of both worlds, I guess you can say, because I would live in C.E. King and go to Third Ward. And my dad would hire all of the Third Ward less fortunate children. And at night or the weekend, my dad would leave the junkyard and go to the club. So while we over there for the summer, we got to hang out with the kids.
Yeah.
That's how I wandered off into the Third Ward areas and stuff like that. So I guess I could just say that my upbringing and who I became, it was from the start because it's like I seen so much.
Right.
You know, I've seen so much, and I've seen so much different cultural bearings. So I guess all that was imprinted in me. And when I fell in the streets, of course, I sold drugs, you know, but then an incident happened that turned me into, I don't want to say a beast, but I became an all-terrain vehicle. And that meant everything goes. You know, back in the late 90s, a situation happened where some friends we grew up with sent some people into my mama's house and robbed my mom's house. You know, shot my brother. They left him for dead, tried to kill my mom. This is C.E. King. And I had just came back in town. And when I came back in town, I kept calling the house and nobody was answering. And when I got to the house, it was me and a young lady. We just got back off the flight. She walked in front of me, and when she walked in, she fainted.
Oh, man.
You know, because they had shot my brother. But when I got there, he was already gone to the hospital. And when I went in there, and my mom told me what happened, an incident happened before that was told to me about a friend that we grew up with, had made a statement about robbing us. And my first instinct, I jumped on the phone and called him. And his twin brother answered the phone and played like him. And it put my mind in that form. And after that, I mean, I became all terrain because, you know, after that, I realized, hey, man, these streets has no love.
I think sometimes us that are raised off of love,
Yes.
we have a certain moral compass.
Yes, we do.
And we take that into the world thinking that everybody is going to think like us, think the same way.
Yeah.
So we thinking that nobody's going to do nothing to my mom
Yeah.
because I wouldn't do nothing to nobody else's mom.
Yes.
But then it changes you as a person when something like that happens because it's like, oh, y'all not playing fair.
You're right.
So this is the rule book that y'all playing by when I thought that we was playing this.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were over here. So I understand that.
Yeah.
And so it's another thing I wanna ask you. What made you, so if you had all this going on with your dad and your stepmother and seeing all of this, what made you turn? Was it the allure of how fun it looked, what they was doing over here?
You know, I tell this story. It's in a book. I got a book coming out called Black Migo, The Rise of the Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And it's in the book, so you got to pick up the book, which is also is going to be ready for a movie, you know, because people tell me, boy, you got a story to tell. This is it, and I tell you the truth. My mom, my stepmother, I'm gonna bring this back so you can tell when I reflected on this. Back in 2005, the feds ran down on me and a friend of mine. Was a good friend of mine, still semi-good friend of mine. He was on this case, but after the case, some of the things that occurred, he didn't tell, but he said enough to where I had to leave him where he at. Mm-hmm. And they run in on us at one of my condos and they took $500,000 from me. And when they came in there, you had the good cop, bad cop. The good cop telling me about a situation that had went down in Virginia and that I had a bleeding soul. And I'm telling him I don't know what he's talking about. The bad cop come in talking big stuff, saying he's going to slap me in my mouth. So we started going back and forth. Well, when he took me to the building on San Felipe, the good cop did the pictures, whatever. Where the other man, the bad cop, after he deposited the $500,000, he came in and he sat there. Because when they run down on me, they kept saying, Meech. So, you know, I play the game. Hey, man, you got the wrong one. Mm-hmm. You know, because you had the other Meechy.
Yeah.
You got the wrong one. Because people would always get us confused because we kind of semi-looked alike. He had braids, I had braids. We was bright-skinned. Mm-hmm. A couple strippers would always say, you don't know him? And I didn't meet him till later on down the line.
Right.
But I kept saying, you have the wrong one. So after he deposited money, he came in and he looked at me and he just bust out laughing and just told me, hey, man, I'm just doing my job. And he said, oh, yeah, and by the way, he said, I want to ask you a question. And I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, man, you know, you kept saying we got the wrong Meechy. He said, no, we got both of y'all. And when he said that, I kind of snickled. And he said, I want to ask you a question, though. He say, you do know why we chasing you, right? I was like, not really, but you can tell me. He say, we are chasing you because you're running a CCC or whatever they call it, a criminal enterprise, but you know it's some CCC. He say for running a multi-million-dollar corporation. He said, now, you're not doing it correctly, but I think if you and the other Meechy would have did it correctly, I think y'all could have been the next Black Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. He said, because you got a mind of a multi-million-dollar billionaire. This is what the agent told me. He said, so I want to ask you a question. He said, what made you go to the dark side? I never reflected on this. And when he asked me being a certain type of motherfucker, excuse my French, I said, damn, should I say this? Okay, well, my dad did. My stepmom, that's the past. And I told him, you know what? I never thought about this, but I have to say this. My stepmom and my dad is what turned me to the streets. Because when I was 14 years old, when I moved to South Park, I moved with my dad now. Mm-hmm. And I used to think that in the spring, for the spring breaks and the summers, my stepmom, you want to go to Weimar, Texas? All right, well, you going to ride the bus with so-and-so, but don't sit with them. You feel what I'm saying? And when you get to where you're going, give them this. I'm a kid, I'm 14 years old. Of course I go to Sterling.
Yeah.
with the hooligans, but I still hadn't been exposed. So one spring break, I go down there, and one of the brothers that she sent me with runs off. So I held the bag for 2-3 days. As I held the bag, one day I just opened the bag up, and I see some cookies. So I don't really know what they is, but when he come back and got it, I started putting 2 and 2 together. You know what I'm saying? So now, when I go back home, I go to Sterling. I'm hanging with the Jonathan Rileys and the, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure people pretty know who these guys is. These are well-known guys. And we used to play basketball. And that's when them fanny packs was around.
Yeah.
And one day, the white man can't jump. Yeah, so one day we sitting up there playing basketball, and it was after school. And he told me to hold the fanny pack, and he forgot it. So I'm getting on the bus, and I'm keep walking, but I keep hearing some jiggling, ching, 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 thing. But I'm trying to figure out, man, what that nigga got in his bag? That nigga got in his bag. But I still didn't go in the bag. So about 2 days later, he don't get the bag. I open the bag, I pop the top, I see some little rocks. And when I see the little rocks, so of course I called one of my step uncles that I used to ride back and forth. Man, come here, I want to show you something. He came over to the house. When he come over to the house, he opened it up. He said, "Boy, where you get this from?"
I knew it.
I say, "What you mean?" He said, "Where you get this from?" "Boy, you can make a lot of money." I said, "A lot of money?" He like, "Yeah. Come on, I'm going to take you to Third Ward." We went to Third Ward, and he made me a little money. I came back. I paid Jonathan his little stuff, did whatever I did. Jonathan gave me some more. And I went and did it again. Then I bumped into the Buds, Chris Jackson, Bruce Magruders, and all them people, and the Lil Muds, Petey Guns, Condres, the 9-8 Posse, as we call them, the Doolittle, the Anthony Bernards, the Anthony Franklins, and I'm just giving some names out to say that this at that time was the culture. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I fitted in. And once I fitted into that, I caught my first case off of Doolittle. Man, my stepmom got into it because we had the block that my dad had on Live Oak in McKinney, it was $1 million block. It was something some New Jack City type stuff. And it was nothing but family. I'm talking about it was 3-4 of us out there. But I can go out there from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the evening. I'm closing down my shop because I done ran $10,000.
How old was you at the time?
I was 18, 19 years old.
Man.
I was still in high school. I met my first connection in high school. You know what I'm saying? From somebody else. But at the time, I didn't know how to move the blocks, as they call. So I'm taking the block, I'm moving 2-3 bricks a week. Ounce for ounce. You know what I'm saying? Not really understanding what the complexity of what I'm doing, and that was Live Oak, and I took over Live Oak, Jefferson, all that whole area. But that's where all this stuff came about. And then after I got to so big, I knew that I had to come off the corner because now when I pull up, the police pulling up. I know when I pull off, the police pulling off. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I'm not understanding what I'm doing. I got a whole Range Rover and a Corvette parked on the block. I'm 18, 19 years old.
So I heard somebody say before, it was like everything that I ever did in life, I knew the consequences for my actions.
Yeah.
It seems like you kind of got pulled into this life and really didn't know the consequences of what could possibly happen. Because I remember Plies had a song that he said, the Judge Bam, my little nigga, he was 17. Don't even know what all that time mean. And when you go through that, it's like, I know now y'all probably could say, I know this will get you 5.
Yeah.
This will get you 10. This will get you 20. At that time, you just know that the money was being made.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna sit here and play the game. I guess I could be honest with you. I've always put it. I wasn't built to be a regular nigga. You catch me what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't built to blend in. You feel me? I was built to stand out.
Yeah.
And saying that to say that, and I got to take this deeper because I am a child of God.
Right.
That's the only reason I'm sitting before y'all right now. You understand? And I would tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this with the humblest heart and the most serious heart. I was entitled. And when I say I was entitled, you know, I've had people tell me, boy, you a spoiled brat. And at the time, I was like, man, nigga, I'm not spoiled. Nigga, ain't nobody spoiled me, nigga. Anything we got from my daddy, nigga, my stepmom and my stepdaddy was rich, but anything, man, my brother, we had to work for. Mm-hmm. But after I thought about it, I wasn't born rich. I ain't never been poor. And I thought about it. I am a spoiled brat, but I'm spoiled by God. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, what my mistakes come? Entitlement. God always picking me up out them baskets. And I have to be honest with you about that. I have to be honest with you about that. I can't sit here and tell you anything else. You feel me? And I'm not saying that it's right. Mm-hmm. And my 14-year-old daughter, that y'all seen other podcasts when I talked about it with her book, she told me when she say, Dad, you think you can do what you want to do and just pray about it and everything will be okay. My 14-year-old daughter told me that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So that's me being honest with you. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't know the consequences. Mm-hmm. I just was entitled. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Let me ask you this, Meech. Growing up and living the lifestyle that you was living, did you have anybody like take you to church or instill those principles in you?
I tell you this and I tell this story. I was an altar boy. St. Peter's Clavers Church. Sunday schools every Sunday.
Vacation Bible school.
Everything.
Yeah.
My family is we are Creole and Cajun, if you understand what that is.
Yeah.
You know, so when people come with the race cars, I can't play the race cars because I ain't talking about down the line. I'm talking about my great grandfather. My mother's grandfather was white, Cajun, and of course we grew up Catholic, and we was devoted Catholics. You know what I'm saying? So I was altar boy. I don't want to say destined to be a priest, but I was the one sitting up there kneeling with the robe and with passing out the bread and the wine. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling you when you ask me that statement, if I tell you anything else, I'm just being fly. Mm-hmm. And that's a lie. You catch me what I'm saying? So I have to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I was raised in church.
Yeah. You know, I feel you on that because, like, I was just telling my wife, man, at 11 and 12 years old, bro, we used to go to Fourth Missionary Baptist Church in 3rd Ward, Pastor E.L. Branch.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, they used to have me up there, bro. I used to hate it back then, bro. I used to have to put on the suit and sit up there with the pastors while all my friends died. You know what I'm saying? So, like, having a relationship with God, just like you, that's why I say I can identify because everything that God took me through, after that, he carried me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes he carried me so much to the point where, like, I didn't learn from it. Yeah. So when you was talking about, man, I was entitled, I feel that because sometimes God be coming through so much, you feel like, man, it's cool. I'm going to get out of it. Yeah. But then he had to sit me down. You know what I'm saying? For you, when was the first time, like, you had to really just sit down, man? Like, when was the first time you got locked up?
Well, I first got locked up when I was 20 years old. And I turned a year staying to 4 years. I went to TDC. And
you went in with a year?
I went in with 10 years.
Oh, okay.
This was 1993. Yeah. Back then,
you
that's
like
12 year on a 10-year sentence. But I went down there with the shenanigans. I'm beating up everybody. Beating up the white people, the black people, the Mexicans, the policemen. I don't even care. So after I beat up enough people and realized that I ain't never coming home, when I straightened up, I was damn near shortwave discharging. So I ended up doing 4 years and 6 months or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first sit down. And I started sharpening myself up then. But I come to understand that every phase has a roof on the sharpening. And in that I came out sharper, which was 1997. But then that was the run that everybody really pretty much remember, the all white everything from 1997 all the way to 2008.
Right.
You feel me? That was the run of the century for me. That was 12 years, 13 years nonstop. You feel me? So,
that was when I was around.
You feel me?
Man, I met you when I was 14 years
when
old.
you was
man.
a kid.
I was a kid, and I remember. I never told you this, but I remember seeing your jury.
Yeah.
Right, we was at a basketball. I think we was at a basketball gym.
Yeah.
And we was doing it, and you had your hair down then. And I was looking at his jury, and I said, "Is this nigga jury fading? What's going on?" First time I ever seen rose gold.
Oh yeah. When I was wearing rose gold, they were calling it Mexican gold. You feel me?
You had rose gold on. Then he had a man on the charm carrying a bag.
The block total.
Yeah, the block total. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And then I remember all the white cars and everything. And so when we talk about my story and people get to asking me about who was my OGs and who I was around, like, you always come up because you was one of them people that I saw and I was like, man, he really getting it.
Yeah.
I want to get it like him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had a group of people pulling up, and I know they all his cars, but he letting everybody drive a car.
Yeah.
Bro, can I say something? When I came home, bro, I came home to rap, Swift.
Yeah.
I came home to rap. Bro, I pulled up to that studio, man. When I seen him jump up out of there, I said, bro, I can't do this right now. I can't do this right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I tried, bro. I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to get a job and everything. I kept coming to that studio, bro. I said, nah, this ain't gonna work, bro. I went back to hustling. Man.
Yeah, and you know what?
I ain't lying to you.
We you know, I get that a lot. Even going through the system, I get people that I don't recall who I've encountered coming up to me saying, boy, I remember you, boy. You used to sponsor our basketball team. You used to do this, you used to do that. But see, my thing of doing it, I never really paid close attention. Mm-hmm. This is just who I am. You know what I'm saying? I did do what I did, but I've always had a sense of God telling me, if you help my people, I'm going to help you. Mm-hmm. So I've always tried to pour into other people, you know, and it became damaging to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I would look at someone and see more in someone else than they seen in themselves.
I've been a witness to that.
Yes. So that's why I've came up with a saying called the broken cup. Mm-hmm. You know, it's you get up to someone and you pour into this cup, expecting an overflow, a return. Mm-hmm. But you're never going to get it because the bottom is broken. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So I would go in and I would come home and say, I'm finna change. Mm-hmm. But it's three major factors to change, true change: people, places, and things. Mm-hmm. I would come home and change the places and things, but I would the people. So I would say that I would take that same broken cup, match that bottom to the broken parts, and put new tape around it. Then get the pouring back in that cup. And once that new tape wear out, the bottom fall back off.
And see, you knew my mother.
Yes.
And because mom went everywhere with me.
Yes.
So
you knew my mother. That was your manager.
That was my manager.
Yeah.
And I remember my mama always saying, because every time something good happened for me, I wanted it to happen for the people around me.
Yes.
Because I've never been a selfish person.
Yes.
And mom used to always say, baby, your problem is every time God starts blessing you, you go get these same people that he moved from around you
and bring them back.
And now he has to stop blessing you to remove them same people. Yeah. She said, baby, stop overworking God.
Yeah, amen.
You double working God.
Amen.
And that's what she used to tell me all the time.
Mama wise woman.
Yeah, that's
because that is also a blessing stopper. Mm-hmm. And you know, you might run into somebody. I've learned that I might see somebody and I want to help you up. But as soon as I start helping you up, I start losing. Mm-hmm. But I'm not understanding why I'm losing. But now I understand why I was losing, because they was fighting against God. So when I stepped in with them, I tried to double team God with them. And there ain't no double teaming God. So as soon as I jump in trying to help them fight, I'm getting my head knocked off. You know what I'm saying? Right. So your mama telling you some true stories.
Man, when I first tapped in with you, man, you was you had Kruger, K. Ruger.
Yeah, my little brother.
Yeah. Let's talk about him real quick. Man, I remember reading an article. I'll never forget this, bro, because I couldn't believe Jay-Z was, he was, you know, Jay-Z was him, you know, he been him. And Jay-Z came down here or something to come see K. Ruger, man. And he said, man, he's like a breath of fresh air.
No, we went, let me correct that.
Y'all went down there?
We went there.
Yeah.
How we stumbled into that, back in the days, I don't know if you remember my R&B group Seville.
Yeah, Seville.
You know, okay, I had Seville. At that time, I had the Denali fam. I had Seville. I had the girl group Desire 4, and then I had K. Ruger. But K. Ruger was at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And because he had a problem. And that problem kept reemerging, and it kept bringing him back to jail. How I got to that point was I had went down to Teddy Riley and them. I went to a music symposium, me, Seville, and Desire down in Virginia. And Teddy Riley wanted my girl group. Mm-hmm. But in the process, he was on some snake stuff, so his cousin Tony, called him Big Tone, him and Jay-Z was real tight. Mm-hmm. And me and him stayed real close because he told me what Teddy was trying to play some snake stuff. Mm-hmm. So after I wiggled out that deal, me and Tone stayed real cool because I was going back and forth to Virginia, so we would always kick it on my arrest time. And one day I had him line up a feature with the Clips. Mm. So when we went over there and did the features with the Clips, K. Ruger went in there and destroyed the ball game. You know what I'm saying? When we laid it down, we did the beat with Knots. Anybody know who Knots is? He the one who did Biggie's Juicy and all that stuff. And the Clips was in there. I still remember to this day. Pusha came in there. Pusha heard K. Ruger verse and he was tripping. But he laid his verse down. Malice came in there and took the music and had to leave because he had to go sit down and write to try to catch up with this young man. Yeah. And well, when we left that day, Tone took the verse to Jay-Z. And 3 days later, he called us and said, hey, man, Jay-Z wanted to talk to y'all. So we went down to the 4040 Club, December 2004. Let me see, he killed himself. No, December 03, because he killed himself September 04. We went down there and we walked in there. We walked to the 4040 Club. It took us all day to get in contact with him because we had to call about 20 people. Yeah. Every assistant had to call the next assistant. And when we finally met him at the 4040 Club, we went in the back and he pulled K. Ruger off. But we all sitting up in there, me, him, Ty Tone, all these people that he be talking about. Mm-hmm. And he told K. Ruger, hey, man, you a breath of fresh air. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? He like, man, I ain't heard nobody like you in a long time, boy. I'm gonna make you a star. And after he got through talking to him, he pulled up on me. He said, Meech, man, you know what, man, you remind me of yourself. He like, man, I'm gonna help you make a difference. But the mistake that I made with that, even though K. Ruger killed himself, I was non-social. I was still putting the streets before the beats.
Right.
Like Jay would always send a message, hey man, tell Meech and K. Ruger to come down here. So I would send K. Ruger down there with Tone, and I would go on here.
Without yourself.
Yeah, because I'm grinding. I'm right down the street in Virginia. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So I think if that's one of the blessings I missed, because me and Jay had got so
built
cool,
a rapport,
that I think he was trying to pull me closer. But them streets had me so tired that I kept missing my opportunity.
And I remember that, because if you remember, I used to battle K. Ruger.
Yeah, sure did.
I used to battle him.
Sure did.
And I remember when that announcement was made that he was doing something with Rockefeller and Jay-Z and all that.
Def Jam.
Man, Def Jam, man, I was so proud. Man, that was big. Yeah. That was big for us in Houston, simply because for one, I knew you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
basically my uncle.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, he finally getting his just due. And it was a proud moment for me. And then not only that, it's like, man, they really respecting what we do down here.
Yeah.
You know, the lyricism, like we not just swangers and candy paint, some country bumpkins.
Yeah.
You know, like for him to say that he was a breath of fresh air, I was like, man. So I remember that whole story, man. And Straight Lace had an incredible run.
Yeah, I did.
You know, but I've made those same mistakes as being a manager now, focusing on other things. Like it was times that I could have flew to New York or I could have flew to all these places, but I was making money doing something else. And I was like, I would send my artists with the road manager, you know,
not taking care of your business.
Not taking care of my business when I'm the face.
Yes.
Like they know me. These people talking to me on the phone. We putting our itinerary and everything together. They emailing me.
They want to talk to you.
I'm pushing it off on over here because I'm too busy over here doing this. So I've missed some blessings doing that as well.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Man, when you got that call, being that, you know, y'all have been putting in so much work, you know, you and K. Ruger, being that you had, you know, invested so much, and when you found out that he had passed away and the way that he passed away, how, you know, what take us through that day?
Man, you know what? Is so much I can share with the world about the intricacies of the dealings with me and God. I would actually say every incident that has changed my life has been an intimate moment with God, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. They only gave us $100,000 signing bonus, and if I would have been a shrewd businessman, I would have took 60 and left the 40 for K. Ruger and Tone. But I split it down the middle because I didn't need the money. You feel me? And I did everything I could, you know. But me, to give a little history on K. Ruger and his brother Titus, we grew up together in Seed King, kids. You see what I'm saying? So when we connected, it was family. If people really knew about K. Ruger and Titus, I practically took care of them before K. Ruger even got the forefront. K. Ruger had been around me since 2000, 2001. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't put him on till he came home after his little 2-year stint. You know what I'm saying? And been taking care of them. But when it came to the deal, I spent more money reconstructing their contract with K. Ruger than I did constructing the contract with Def Jam. You see what I'm saying? You heard what I said.
Yeah.
I spend more money with somebody that I've been taking care of all their life than I did with these business people. And we got past that. Me and the older brother Titus, I know y'all pretty familiar who Titus is. He was helping T-Fast with Megan for a little while. And me and him had a little altercation one time, but I didn't find out till later about the hidden motives that he built from that day. So when we got the deal, me and Tone got into a little situation because he kept telling me to do one thing and I'm dumping his money into doing this with these mixtape. And then you call me one day and tell me, Jay, tell you if we can't do nothing with K. Ruger, then he can't do nothing with him and he want to do this. So, you know, I spoke my mind. So from that day, Tone went to snake mode and Tone and Titus connected. So now Tone and K. Ruger going to New York without me, Tone coming down here, going different places. I don't even know what they got going on. But you can't snake me because I got this contract.
Right.
But y'all trying to snake me. But being God's child, he put a stop to it. I'm just going to be real with it. He put a stop to it. And it's a guy named June. I don't know if any of y'all remember June back in the days. This guy here, he was working for me, but then once we got the deal, he was also on some snake shit. He connected with Titus and them, so it's some underhanded shit going on. But again, all these people eating off me. You feel what I'm saying? Outside of the music. And so they all connected. So after they all connected, I wasn't talking to Titus, but I was kind of still talking to Kruger. And I would let Kruger use the chain, whatever. So when I was getting ready to go to Virginia, June was getting ready to go with me at the time. And I went and met Ruger and gave Ruger my chain, and because he was shooting a video, whatever. But when he came up to me, he had said something to me that day. This was in Wayside over there, off of North Wayside, where he from. He had said something to me that day about he don't like the way things is falling apart between us because we've been family for so long. So I just told him it's gonna be all right. Boom, we jump up and we goes to Virginia, me and June and some more guys. Well, we in the gym working out. This the day he killed himself. We in the gym working out, and June called Titus to tell Titus something, and Titus went off on him. So June came to me like, man, you know it's so crazy, man. Titus really getting out of hand, man. Titus, man, God gonna do something to Titus, man. Gonna make Titus have to wake up. And immediately my mind went to, hey, man, don't say that, man. Yeah. Because my mind automatically went to what kind of way he can hurt Titus.
By hurting him.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because ain't nothing else, you don't have nothing else going on. So when he said that, I told June, nah, nigga, don't be saying that like that. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? But boom. So as the day progressed, we still in the gym. All of a sudden, I get a call from up in New York. Hey, we need to bring K. Ruger up there. So I said, all right, well, June, call K. Ruger and tell him get his name and book his ticket. So he called Ruger and he asked Ruger's name, and Ruger said K. Ruger, but he asked for his real name. So June come back and say, man, something wrong with Ruger, man. He was like, man, I asked that nigga for his real name. That nigga said K. Ruger. He said Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
So we didn't, at that time, nigga just carried on. Shit, about an hour later, June coming there crying. K. Ruger blew his brains out.
Damn. I remember when that news broke on 97.9 The Box, and they was talking about it, and they was playing his music.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. And it's two things you said in that really stuck out to me. One is there's never been somebody that ever did anything to me that nothing didn't happen to them.
Yeah.
And with being a child of God and I always say I'm one of God's favorites. Yeah. Because any situation I ever been in,
he gonna lift you up.
He gonna lift me up out of it. No matter how bad it was, no matter how low it was, if I prayed about it and I left it in his hands, he always got me out of it no matter what. Yeah. And then the other thing is this business will show you exactly who somebody is. Yeah. You can have all of the, man, we gonna build this together. Man, I love you. Man, I appreciate you. But when that check come and that fame come, all of that changes. Yeah. Just like if you let somebody borrow some money, right? They happy when you let them borrow the money. Yeah. But as soon as you ask for it back, hold up. But then when they don't have the money to pay you back, in their mind, they thinking, I'm gonna pay him when I get my money. Until they get the money in their hand.
Man, let me tell you.
And when you get the money in your hand, it's like a switch change.
Let me tell you. You know what, nephew, on that note, I give all the I give the gratitude to the K. Rugers, the Sevilles, the Naughty fans, that group back that I had back then, because back then I based that on family. Was none of them on contract. But they set the standards with me to make sure they educated me on contracts. So as I progress into the game, all that big brother, little brother, we walking, hey, yeah, big brother, yeah, we big brother and little brother, but after that ink drawn that paper. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've learned from that. Get that black and white right. While y'all cordial, get that black and white right. You feel me? Because all that old brother and sister and big bro, all that stuff, it changed. You feel me? And it's never failed. So can't nobody tell me, now he different. No. It's a foundation to every character, whether you a rat, you a snake, you a gorilla, you a lion, or you a bear. You got a polar bear, you got a brown bear, you got a grizzly bear. But what is the foundation of that bear? They got them big old claws on them. You feel me? So he's a what? Even a koala bear, he don't even eat meat, but he got a foundation of what?
A bear.
Don't play with that bear because he gon' you feel me? Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm speaking of. You know what I'm saying? I've learned. And it came through those scars we talked about, the pain we've talked about, understanding who I am. And understanding who I am helped me regulate the understanding of others. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
what made you, you know, you having the motions in the streets or whatever, you know what I'm saying? What made you decide to jump in the music industry?
That was my first love. I sung. Me and my brother had an R&B group when we was young.
You can sing?
I used to. I used to.
You know I'm finna tell you, hey, hit something.
Nah, I used to. You feel
hit
me?
Something.
When I started, that's where we started at C King. We had an R&B group.
Yeah.
Then I started rapping.
What was y'all name?
I can't remember back then because my brother was the lead of the group. You know what I'm saying?
Meech. Now you know back then. The R&B groups, it was the dancing.
Yeah,
and y'all was doing all of that.
Yeah, we doing all that. You know what I'm saying? The Michael Jackson jacket with the 100 zippers and the rhinestone.
I had one.
Yeah.
Not the block total.
Yeah. Well, you know that was then. Well, that's why I told you. They say we would have never imagined that you done went from tap dancing.
Nah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
that
man.
But that was my first love.
Yeah.
And so of course I got into the music game, and I was funding myself, and you know, as I funded myself and tried to do both, I had to give praises to the Master P's and them, because that's a hard job. Mm-hmm. It's a hard job to rap and run a company. You see what I'm saying? So I had to give them props on that. But after they got so far into the game, I realized that I had to do one or other. And if I just rapped and I ain't blowed up yet, ain't no finance. So that's what made me started financing artists. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, so that's where that came from.
One thing I've learned about just managing artists and being in the music business so long, because you know I used to rap,
sure
sing,
did,
all of that,
yeah.
You know, and then I learned that sometimes you could want more for somebody than they want for themselves.
Well, I spoke on that earlier.
Yeah, so you will look at somebody and you'll be like, man, they got all the talent in the world, but if they don't want it, then what can you do with it? Like, I'm booking the studio time, you're not showing up. Mm-hmm. I'm booking all the podcasts, all the promo runs and all that, and you always got an excuse why you late.
Yeah.
You know, so it becomes a point of when you funding it yourself, it's like, man, I'm wasting money.
Yeah.
So I've been through those same situations, and really it's just on the job training.
Yeah. And
it teaches you, like you said, because I did everything in the beginning. I didn't do no contracts with my artists. I was just, man, I see you got some talent. I just want to help. Oh, man, this turned into this. This turned into this. And I'm thinking, because I would pack fair with you, I'm thinking you going to pack fair with me. And that's just until that money come. Yeah. And then it did, man. I'm talking about, I done sat in meetings with Kevin Lyles and all these people, and we started talking about all this money, and boys started talking about the song that went platinum and all that. Nigga get to switching up.
Yeah.
I've been through all that, so I know exactly how
that business is tricky.
Meech, let me ask you this. Would you ever go back into the music industry?
You know, my when I go to this here.
Yes.
you know, and I gotta give some real truth to the story is I love music. I love it. I would love to do something I love and make the money make sense. You hear what I said? Yeah. Make the money make sense. Yeah. And the reason why I say that, because as everybody know, I've spent millions. Yeah. I ain't say hundreds of thousands. I've spent millions in this business, whether it was behind me or artists. And it has given me a valuable lesson. You see what I'm saying? 'Cause just like right now, just to be on some real stuff, I'm pretty sure everybody do know that those artists that been signed to me are still signed to me. Yeah. Whether it's Kilo Santana, King Hendrix, you feel what I'm saying? Tank Law, JJ, I can go on and on. These people are still under contract, but I'm not really tripping on that. because there's nothing to that. You feel what I'm saying? So, and of course, I'm pretty sure everybody know that Cartel Bo is my real nephew.
Yeah, shout out, Bo. That's my guy.
That's my real nephew. You catch what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He asked Unc to come home and help him. And that's my nephew. So if he really need me, I got to step up. Go back to King. That's like my son. I signed King as soon as he turned 17, 18 years old. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I'm not appearing around, that's my son. You see what I'm saying? So if those guys need me, like I told them, rub that lamp. That genie gonna appear. You feel what I'm saying? But they gotta understand that it gotta make sense. Mm-hmm. Just like me and nephew, we're currently talking. Nephew say, Unc, I want you to come and back me up. Guess what? If nephew show me how it work and show me what's going on, I'm gonna back him up. Same thing with him, because if I want to help King, if I want to help Bo, they doing what they do. But you got to figure out how to connect to help them. I got to figure out how to connect with nephew, because nephew doing what I'm going to need to be doing. Nephew, if he knows the business, that's what I need to know. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's the only way I can lift you up. So if not saying like nephew Bo said, Unc, I know what you're used to, but like I told him, it's not about the money. It's about giving me a safe space of peace to work. Mm-hmm. If I came home and Neff was excelling like he was excelling while I was in the pen, and all I had to do was come home and put them skates on and jump in the ring with him and roll, I would have been right there. You feel me? Vice versa with King. If nephew showed me this, I'm right there. It's not about what I used to make, because now I'm patient. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know where I made errors at because I was impatient. Mm-hmm. Now I'm patient. I know how to work like an ant. You feel me? Instead of working like a bird, trying to bring home a whole eagle, trying to bring home a whole rat. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna work like an ant. I'm gonna bring home a piece at a time. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? The pieces at a time gonna mount up to something when the winter comes and I can hibernate on. Right. You catch me what I'm saying? Right. So that's where I'm at now. So the question is, if it makes sense, I'm in. Yeah. And I ain't saying the money, show me the money. If it makes sense, I'm in. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could never turn down that situation. Yeah. You know?
Speaking on working like an ant and patience, you just came home. Man, with all the success and everything that you had over the years, you know, we done been in and out of jail before when we ain't really have nothing like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it hits a little harder once you done had kids, maybe grandkids, you done established yourself. So this time, how different, take care of your business. How different was this time from any other time you've been incarcerated? And what did you learn this time?
Oh man, this time was something serious. Out of all this time I've been in prison, this time right here, this was I tell people that it's a difference. You cook chicken and steak at different temperatures. Right. This time around, I was cooked at steak temperature. I wouldn't cook that chicken temperature. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? so in the process of that, I'm saying that to say that I'm it's a different dog. Yeah, you feel me?
So look, let me ask you, what was so, because a lot of people don't know unless you've been incarcerated that there's a big difference between the state and the feds. Yeah. What was the difference? What was the shock factor to you?
Man, honest to God, truth, I had me and my wife used to get into it all the time because she's a great support system, and we used to get into it all the time. She used to be telling me, because she's a CSI, what's that stuff? NSISCIIC, forensic, whatever. And that and the Lifetime movies and the murder mysteries and the tick-tock, tick. You feel me? So every time something new would come about, she would be like, babe, you did seen this?
Yeah.
Man, them people can't do that. Babe, you seen it? Man, I ain't worried about them people can't do that. Then, you hear the monster stories about people coming out saying the ghost dope and the woes dope and all this. Oh, man, hell no, I don't ever get caught. I ain't got to worry about that. Say, man.
They had all that.
When I walked off into that March 19 when they picked me up, bro, they picked me up. Like I told you, the world, they blew doors off here. They 100 officers to my house, 80 officers to my office. And, man, they arrested me.
Was that Operation Wrecking Ball?
Operation Wrecking Ball. And they arrested me. And they, when I went to my first bond hearing, they denied me. So I hired Ken Schaefer and went to the next bond hearing, and they denied me again. Man, them people kept me in jail behind something that happened at Global. I don't know if anybody know what Global is. Global Motors. Back in the days, everybody's go get the cars from them. I had sent a partner of mine from Chicago. His name Meach too. I sent him over there. He sold some of his cars, gave John some money. John sold him some Range Rovers back. And though 2018, 2019, I don't know if everybody heard how they was picking up them cars. Everybody came from Global.
Yeah.
Where they went and picked up my boys' cars. So, of course, even though I didn't have nothing to do directly with the deal, but I dealt with the deal, he was upset. So he kept calling because John stopped answering the phone. So I took it on me to call John, and I talked to him the first day. He said he was going to take care of it. So he never took care of it. So me called me about 2 days later. So I called John back. He said he's going to take care of it. I called him back the next day. When he told me to, he stopped answering the phone. So I calls up to to Global Motors. And I told him, hey, man, I need to talk. Oh, man, you just missed him. All right, well, tell him I'm trying to call him. Tell him call. Next day, call. Oh, man, you just missed him. I went off. Hey, man, you better tell John, man, he better take care of the motherfucking business because he know what I'm about. I'm going to come up to that bitch and I'm going to burn that bitch down. I'm going to tear that, excuse my French. But not knowing the people was on his line. They had lost contact with me. They told my wife they lost contact with me back in 2016. You feel me? 2013.
And that phone call.
So he put him right back.
Well, no, he didn't put him on me because
No,
he didn't know
that
that phone
call
call put him on me.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, they picked me up 2 years later. When I went to jail, they tried to hit me with a flight risk, right? And they said because I was in Dominican Republic, but my wife had paid for me to go to Dominican Republic for my birthday. Not knowing that my case was tied to the Dominican Republic. This is why I'm telling you, my whole journey was God. I did not know that my whole case was tied to the Dominican Republic. So after my wife got on the stand and killed that no, I paid for my husband to go down here, show the proof of this. I paid for this. It was for his birthday. The prosecutor had to find another game. So the prosecutor went to that phone call and used that phone call and said I was a threat to society. And Ken Schaefer said, well, how is he a threat to society when y'all picked that man up 2 years later? Did anything happen to John Lee Arthritis?
In them 2 years?
Yeah. Did anything happen to Global Motors? Y'all had Mr. Peterson phone ping. Did he go by Global Motors? No. But them people kept me in jail for 4 years.
They doing that to my boy Money Gang Slugger right now.
How long you been gone?
He been gone almost 2.5, almost 3.
And he ain't been sentenced?
No.
I was in jail 4 years before I got sentenced. I got picked up March 19, 2019. I got sentenced February 23.
And that's crazy. He didn't get bond because of a phone call.
Yeah.
Because somebody had broken into his house while we was at a show and was trying to rob him. It was somebody he knew that was trying to rob him. And they surprised his little brother. They didn't know his little brother was there. His little brother was in the back room. So when he kicked the door in, and he lived in a high-rise building. So they waited for somebody to come out the back door so they can go in and came up to his floor, kicked the door open, and when they came in, it startled his little brother. He came out the back, and the dude shot at his little brother and ran out the apartment. So we get the phone call while we at the show. We figured out who it is, all that. some stuff is said on the phone, and while we're going to the next show, they had been tapping his phone because he had an operation going on. Anybody that know, they know. But what ended up happening was while we're on the freeway, he gets pulled over in a Lamborghini truck. But this is not your regular traffic stop, because when they pull him over, they got tactical vests on, like it looked like it. So I jump out the car, my car on the shoulder of the freeway. I jump out the car, get to running down there. They like, who are you? What's going on? I was like, hey, y'all pulled him over. This is my artist. I want to see, what's the problem with him? Well, y'all get back in y'all cars. So they made us follow the car all the way down to Greenspoint Mall parking lot. And then they get to searching everything. How I knew this was something different was he had a little weed in the car because he smoked weed. Had a little weed in the car. They left the weed in the car. Let me take the car. So this was the crazy thing. He had a chrome heart hat on, expensive hat, but he had all his jewelry on, like $100,000 worth of jewelry. I'm telling them, I'm like, let me get his jewelry. I didn't want to go to jail with his jewelry because you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They like, nah, we can't give you that. He has to release that to you. So I tried him. I say, hey, that's an expensive hat he got on. Oh, I don't want him to go to jail with that hat on either. You want him to have the hat? He's like, yeah, he ain't got him in handcuffs. So I took the hat off his head, put the hat on his mama's head because mom was there. So I'm like, so we can have the hat, but we can't have the jewelry? So then they get to looking like, but so they let me take the Lamborghini home. I look in the car, search the car. They done threw the little weed back in the car. So I was like, yeah, this is
the feds or the state?
The feds.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I'm like, yeah, this something different.
Yeah, they don't want no petty.
So yeah, they'll play them games, but like you said, that little phone call is what led to them trying to not give you bond and all that. And that's the same thing that happened to him.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, it was this I was, like I said, I was cooked at steak temperature on this one, and it just it opened my eyes. It made me aware. It made me aware of my errors, but it also made me aware of how to move and how to say no. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've gained from this last situation. You know.
Let me ask you this, man, because you brought up the wife. I'm married too. Man, how important? Because a lot of dudes out here really don't realize how important or how instrumental it is to have somebody that you can actually trust by your side. You know what I'm saying? How important is it to you to have somebody there with you, you know what I'm saying, through all of this, man?
Oh, it's very important. You know what I'm saying? It's very important to have that support system with you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she was very supportive. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. You know, you can't do it. You could do it by yourself, but it's gonna be hard. So it's very important to have a support system, a backbone during that time of crippling. You know what I'm saying?
So I watched a couple of your interviews, right? And in one of your interviews, you said this last time you felt like your feet were against the fire.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of things that was going through your mind. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, you know, just coming home, going through the system and coming home to what's normal right now today. The snitching, because I know that's what you're talking about. You know, going through that process, you know, I had a lot of people come out the woodworks that I didn't know who Danced with the Devil was dancing with the devils. You know, and these was people that was kind of cool with me. You feel what I'm saying? And I didn't know it. But in the process of me going through it, I was being told to dance with the devil. You know, and it's like at that time, it was shocking, but I had bigger problems, so I ain't even really look deep into it. You feel what I'm saying? But of course, it was weak moments. But being the person that I am, like if I would have did that, why come back to the world? Because I still would have been dead on the inside. You feel what I'm saying? That's like a nigga having a Porsche chassis on a Volkswagen frame. You feel me? You pull up to the valet, you pull up in a clean Porsche with 2022s on it, but you get a nigga a Volkswagen key. That's what I call, you feel me? You know, that's what I had to call those niggas. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga, you shining like a diamond, but you're a cubic. You feel me? So what was the use of me coming home when I was dead? And when I say I was dead, because I couldn't come home and say my name Meechie, I'd had to tell nigga my name David.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Then my kids walking around here telling, hey, Meechie, my dad. Oh, you must be a mouse because your dad is a rat. You feel me?
I think when people do certain things, they don't understand how it affects everybody.
Yeah.
When you do something good, your family can hold their head up and that affects them in a good way, in a positive way.
Yeah.
But when you do something bad, they still got that same, it affects them as well.
But you want me to tell you something? Going through this process, I don't know how to really put this. I don't want to say I don't condone it, but I don't condemn it. And it's a it got to be a precious way with the way I say this, because it goes back to the character of the man. You feel me what I'm saying? When you dealing with a situation like that, what I dealt with and come out the way I've came out. You understand what I said? I've came out. I got two cousins, the people that I found out I was under investigation out of New Orleans. One got life in 50 years and the other one got life. This is my bloodline. You catch me what I'm saying? And, you know, people come out with the story was what these people was offering me or telling me standing out. I couldn't stand under that pressure. I wasn't going to do that. I stood under that pressure. You catch me? And at the end of the day, I was making a decision after my family understood that this is what it is. I can't drink from that cup. That cup don't fit my lips. That if them people would have offered me 30 years, 25 years, I'm going to the box. Because if I'd have signed off on that 20, 30 years, I'm in the box. You feel me? So, you know, I guess when I came to the point of coming home, you know, people were saying about minding your business. At first, I was real like, hell no, I ain't minding my business. No, nigga this, nigga that. But when I got home and realized what it is, guess what I'm doing?
Minding my business.
You catch me?
You said something very powerful just now that a bunch of young people don't understand. You said, man, I ain't drinking from that cup.
Yeah.
First of all, it's morals and principles
Yes.
instilled in you that keep you from drinking from that cup.
Yes.
A lot of these youngsters don't understand when you out here doing what you doing,
Yeah.
you can't turn around when it's time when these folks offer you this cup. You know what's in the cup. You know what you out here doing. You know what I'm saying? Man, can you elaborate on the reason why? Because, like I said, man, I got a lot of young people that watch my podcast, bro. And I want them to understand, like, one of the reasons why I brought you on here is to show that even after you've been incarcerated, after all the hard times, like, you can make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And while we talking about the situation with you, I want them to understand, like, first of all, the streets is dead.
Yeah.
If you gonna jump out here, make sure that you know what you getting out here for. You know what I'm saying? You said you said something very powerful just now. You said, man, for me, I can't drink from that cup.
Yeah.
What about you? You know what I'm saying? Make you that person that say I ain't gonna drink from that cup. What is it so these youngsters can understand too?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, when I say it goes back to the character of that person. But then I want to also come to you and say, why not they can't drink from that cup? They don't know nothing about that cup. They not from that era. And there's not a lot of, I don't even want to say OGs, because I don't know what OG is, but there's no one else out here to instill that in them. Those days are over, because what I've sat back and analyzed was, outside of a few, you feel me? You may be one of them, nephew may be one of them, but outside of a few, and study them instead of them lifting these young people up to understand the complexity of the streets, they bog down to them or they use them as pawns. So when I say, why not? It's because, you know, when the game started cracking, when people realized the codes to the streets was not the 10 Commandments. There's no stone. Yeah, they could be broken. There's nothing written. You feel me? When they realized that, you know, people in our generation started failing the process. So now when we go to these youngsters what process that they need to follow that they're going to fail because there's no structure in place. You catch me what I'm saying? There's no structure in place. So when we speak on that, I speak on, again, integrity, morals, values, all character. So when we go to that, we understand that, go back to these kids. These kids has no character. They has no character. They want to play the fray of the next man or play the fray of the rappers. And these rappers, as you see, they're crumbling. So the people that they're following, they has no character. You see what I'm saying? And I will take this all the way back. Every we and woe that we're going through with these young people, whether it's female or male kids, is biblical. Because people don't pay attention to what we're going through. We people are so caught off in the physical realm of the world that they think that everything is happening is only physical. What's really happening is spiritual. Yeah. And if you go to the Bible say in those end days, the son will spite the father and the daughters will spite the mothers. Well, that's exactly what they're doing by spiting their rearing of them. You was not raised like that. So you're spiting them. That's that, and so I'm taking this deep to say it goes back to the parents. You feel what I'm saying? The parents are the problem. It's not the kids, it's the parents.
Because I heard an old man say one time, he said, we always say the youth is lost. Well, who lost them? It was the generation before them.
Right.
And Birdman was speaking at this event, the Stop the Violence event, the other day, and this guy was challenging him about, you had a Stop the Violence rally, but the artists that you produce and promote, this is who's putting out this music.
Yeah.
He said, but it all starts with the parents.
Yeah, it starts with the parent.
Yo, and when I was talking to Money Green earlier, I said, I knew when I was younger and I was listening to the Ghetto Boys and the Scarfaces, Willie D's, Bushwick Bills, the Gangsta Nips, the UGKs, I just listened to the music because it was music and it was good music and it was entertaining. But I know if I did anything on here that got me in trouble, I didn't have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I had to deal with my mama at home.
Yes.
And my mama instilled that fear in me at an early age that we thought she was crazy for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, please don't call my mama. When I was at school and something happened, man, I was begging for them not to call my mama.
Because you had a parent.
I had a parent.
You didn't have a father or a mother, you had a parent. Mm-hmm. It's a different. It's a totally different thing. You can be a father and you can be a mother, but that don't make you a parent. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So you had a parent. That's why you was in that mode. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said it goes back to the parenting. I guess I could use my kids as examples. People would always tell me when I was in jail, boy, you ought to be proud. I know you're going through what you're going through, but boy, you got some very intelligent, some very upright kids, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And between me and my wife, we put that effort in. Mm-hmm. Whether my wife, I got 3 kids by my wife, and I got 3 kids outside of my wife, but my wife raised them all. She was a young mother. Mm-hmm. And she was very adamant about certain things. She could be overbearing sometimes, but the overbearing part, she would get it straight. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we together instilled morals and values in our kids that was different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, yeah, excuse me, man. These people, these big. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Go back into the parent, man. And man, I sat in that place for 7 years, but I always had a phone, so I seen everything that was going on, and it saddened me, of course. But what saddened me the most was, I don't want to say I can't help, but it's puzzling to find out how can you help. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, if you stuck out in the middle of the ocean in your boat, you don't got no gas, and your boat run out of gas, and you in that water, you ain't got no paddles. You know that old saying, huh? You step up shit creek with no paddles. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that I kind of see with these kids. You know, it's a sad situation, but how do we fix that?
Man, you know the Bible say faith coming by hearing.
Yeah.
And hearing the word of God, right?
Yes.
You know, most people think that the word of God is just the Bible.
Yes.
The word of God is the words that come out of your mouth too.
Yes, correct.
You know, when we was talking on the phone, like I was sharing with you, man, the way that you can help is just share what you've been through.
Yes, and that's why I said what I said about willing to share.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because that's when I also said about learning yourself. Because when you learn yourself, you learn how to deal with everybody else. And it's like they say, tell your story. Because your story will resonate with those that want to listen. So, you know, that's where I'm at on that note too. And don't get me wrong, I don't think nothing is lost because I'm a God's child and a true believer. Mm-hmm. So I don't think nothing is truly lost, but I do believe in a process. And where we are at, even with these kids, it's part of the process. You know, you roll a big boulder down a hill, you ain't gonna be able to stop that boulder. You feel me? Until you get to the bottom of that slope.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. Even when we go to the political aspect of what we got going on with Trump, everything is happening for a reason. You know, at one point in time, I was sitting up there going back and forth with people in prison that was Trump supporters. You was great Trump supporter, but you on food stamps, you on housing, you're a veteran, you black, and you got your hair slicked back and you rolling around in a Medicaid chair, but you voted for Trump. Then when Trump get in office, he cutting all them aspects off on you. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm going back and forth with them till I got tired at the mouth and I just stopped talking about it.
Man, I look at everything like this. Just like the Bible, right? And people that swear that they know the Bible front and back, we call them Bible thumpers, right? They'll take what they can use for this situation that benefits them and then leave out everything else. Manipulation. Yeah. So that's just the same thing, like you said, with the Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Okay, we love him when he's giving out stimulus and all that.
Yeah.
But then when he say we're gonna cut these food stamps, we're gonna cut this Medicare, we're gonna do this and do that, then so I don't know, it's a double-edged sword. People straddle the fence a lot, and they don't ever just I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna be this no matter how hard it gets. This is what I'm gonna get, and this is what I'm gonna rock with.
You know what I want to input on that is go back to character. When I tell people, when I speak to people and I tell people, if I'm talking to you and I'm taking that time out, I tell people I give anybody a second, very few a minute. If I'm giving you a minute, that means I'm pouring into you. Mm-hmm. And when I'm pouring into you, I'm not pouring into you about how nice your watch is, how nice your shoes is and your chains is, your car is. That don't impress me. Been there, done that. That's old news. I'm pouring to you so when you step out of here butt naked, no boxes, no drawers, no shoes, no shirt, and you step out into that public right there at the shopping center, you butt naked, but you're going to walk through that sucker like you fully dressed with chains, cars, and on. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because the true value is in barity. It's not in material stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say when I speak into the character of things. And everything that I try to speak in, I'm speaking in the character. And when you're speaking in character, you're speaking of the psyche. Mm-hmm. And that's where we going when we're talking about to me. Mm-hmm. You feel me? When I looked at the situation with the election with Kamala Harris and Trump, yes, Kamala didn't impress me. But Trump has no morals. But you know what puzzled me? And I used to tell people, I've been pulled out of tight spaces by my God. I've been worshiping my God, and he has showed himself and had intimate moments with my God. But if Trump is from my God, that the God that I've been raised in, then I've been worshiping the wrong God. And that's a horrible thing to say. You feel what I'm saying? When a man has no empathy, you know, and I'm not getting into the political aspect because I don't really do that, but I'm speaking of character. You ask me, do I want my son to be the president behind like Trump? No, man, my son like Trump, I whoop your butt every chance I get. We got whooped for that stuff that he doing. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I say that I don't want to linger on that, but just bringing that about to the forefront. You know, like I say, I'm all about character and virtue. Yeah. Integrity. That's why I'm sitting before you with my integrity. Yeah. That's why I couldn't drink from that cup. My integrity. You catch me what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what the reason why that made me that person. Yeah. Why I couldn't drink from that cup. Yeah. Because I got integrity. Yeah. You catch me?
Yes, sir.
So that's that. I hope that answers your question. Even though we went out to the water to come back to the shore, but that's the reason why I was the person, because I got integrity.
Yeah. Man, look, let me say this before we get out of here. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I appreciate you coming.
Man, thank you for having me.
I really do, man. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you taking time out to come, sir. You know what I'm saying, chop it up with nephew, me and my guy.
That nephew,
but, man, let me say this, man. I started to say this, make a video yesterday, just telling people, you know, man, when it comes to God, right, I'm serious about God. I don't like folks playing, like making mockery of his name. Like, bro, don't put his name in no song. Like, bro, for what he's done for me, I don't play about God. I don't like when nobody's playing about God. You know, we done got to this point where we depend on man so much that we done took God out the picture. Yeah. I tell people all the time, bro, I don't give a damn who's in office. None of that matters to me.
That's right.
The same people that's complaining and fighting back and forth with each other about Democrat, Republic, all of that don't even matter. When the Bible, that same Bible that you preaching out of, it say be in the world but not of the world.
If you for sure love this world, you can't love me.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. You know, bro, because we done been, man, bro, God done came through for me so much. I don't give a damn what the economy look like. God is going to supply my needs. I don't care what nobody else, what the politicians do, none of that. And I feel like right now God is bringing us to a place of, okay, see, this is what a lot of people don't understand. In the Bible, it say God put kings in place.
And that's another reason why.
So there's a reason why he's in there.
Yes.
And the reason why he in there might be to get people to come back to him. We've been dependent, just like all these folks that's on food stamps that's complaining right now. When they take all your food stamps, will you still trust God like you say you do every Sunday before the food stamp was taken? Will you still praise and worship him the way, you know what I'm saying? Like, who do you, right now, it's showing people, who are you depending on to take care of you? Because that same God that took you out years ago, that brought you out years ago and over again, he's still able to do it now. During the coronavirus, when everybody else was dying, he kept you. When they said it was going to be a famine through the hurricanes and everything, he kept you. So what make you think that he can't keep you now? He's just using Trump to just show everybody. Trump ain't got no power.
I could bring you deeper than that.
You know what I'm saying?
I could bring you deeper than that. You want a king? I'm going to give you a king.
I'm going to give you the king. I'm going to give you exactly, and that's what he's doing. He's giving these folks exactly what they asked for.
Yeah, it's just like the children of Israel when they was in the desert. You want a king? I'm going to give you a king. When your king start oppressing you, don't come crying to me.
He told him, man, the same thing. Bruh, you in there.
I mean,
you in there. See, but if you say this to people, bruh, they gonna think you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all asked for this.
Yeah. Exactly.
When God, bro, all the way from the beginning, he said, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. We're willfully ignorant, because even when somebody try to teach us, man, we're willfully ignorant. Bro, God say, man, I'm going to be your king. They say, nah, man, we want to be like everybody else. We want a king. God say, okay, well, you want a king? I'm going to give you a king.
Yeah, that's what he did.
And I'm going to allow that king to oppress you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's awareness, man. It's full awareness. I would have to come back 2-3 times on your show to actually spill out what I've got inside of this spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so much that I have to I don't want to say to offer, but I guess to say to share. When it comes to in-depthness, I give anybody a second, very few a minute. You catch me what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel me? I tell people I'm like a scientist. but I don't study plants and animals. I study people. You catch me what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in the process of me studying people, I don't have to literally talk to you to know what type of person you is. I can watch you walk around and congregate with everybody else.
Yeah.
I just came from prison in a dorm with 218 people that I did not really communicate with none but probably but 5 of them. But I would put them big headphones on and have my MP on my thing like I'm listening to music, and I would literally walk by 20 conversations. And I would actually gather every piece of conversation, not to be nosy to spread a person's business, but to be spread aware. And that caused me to understand, be still. You feel me? Be still. Listen. And I became a assertive listener just as much as an assertive speaker. So that's why I say it's so much that I can sit and hold a conversation about with people that can hold a conversation back with me. You feel what I'm saying? That's why we went into that, but I don't go depth into that because I was told by the Spirit to stop battering Trump. He's in position for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I said, you know. But yeah, you know, I really appreciate it, man. We had to come back again and finish up the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Again, man, bro, I appreciate you for coming.
Yes.
I thank you for the time.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? This is part 1.
Yeah.
Y'all be on the lookout for part 2 because it's gonna go down.
Oh yeah,
bro.
yeah, most definitely.
Hey, we see more people like us.
Yeah.
That come from where we need to come from.
Yeah.
That come from where we come from. Need
Yeah.
to hear the conversations that we having about
Yeah.
God and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Bro, some of the only pastors that they'll ever hear is us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to work
why,
hard.
That's why
you know what I'm saying?
Reverend Swift. Yeah. Church in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Again, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
And until next time, we out.
Yeah.